And we are back. We have a little bit of news, and I don't know if my co-hosts are aware of this because I just threw them in the document.
This is
So
all news to me.
I'll go through and then kind of talk a little bit about it. And if any of you guys have any comments or anything, then you can let me know. So the first bit of news, and I think this didn't happen this week; it happened last week. The first comic book by the new publisher Bad Idea came out a couple weeks ago. It was called ENIAC Number One. It's written by Matt Kindt, Robert Venditti. Oh, actually, those are some of the other writers. But this one was written by Matt Kindt. So the whole proposition of this Bad Idea imprint, and this is why I wanted to get you guys' take on it. Even though this was announced last year, I think, but the books didn't come out till this year because of delays and COVID and comic book industry stuff. So these books are only going to be sold in comic book stores, select comic book stores, even not all comic book stores. So
Why?
hearing that,
Like a direct sell only?
yeah. So this is kind of how the publisher is approaching this. So here in the DFW area, only Titan Comics has these issues.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah. So also
Exclusive.
they will not be sold digitally anywhere. They will
For
not
now.
be
For
they will
now.
not. Well, I guess for now, yeah. They will not be collected in any kind of trade. And I think as of now, the first book did sell so well that they did send for a reprint. There is a reprint, but it's still only limited to those few select shops. So if you weren't, you can only buy one per customer. Like that's a rule, and they're monitoring that very. I mean, they're really. The reason they picked out the select comic book stores is because I feel like the publisher has a good relationship with these shops. When this book came out, it was on eBay. The highest one I saw was $900 for one book.
I am so torn by this. So torn.
Yeah.
So
It's the opposite of everyone else. Every other company is like, would you like to buy singles? Would you like to buy a collected? Would you like to buy digital? And they're like, no, you're gonna take what we give you.
And as you were describing it, my brain was going to exactly the place where then you said you saw on an eBay. Mm-hmm. This is about creating artificial scarcity. Mm-hmm. So on the collecting market, these will be worth money.
Yep. Yeah.
Who is collecting? Who is collecting?
Me.
Anyone will collect them if there is money to be made from it. This is why we can't get Xboxes and PS5s, right? It's like and what pisses me off is in many ways this is a model that is a disservice to the creators and the potential audience.
Yeah.
Right? Because I like Matt Kindt. I would like to read this book, but if I can't get it, then fuck me. I mean, it's it's like
this is like limiting your buyers from the get-go. You're saying I'm only gonna sell this. Now, if it was like a Kickstarter and people prepaid, that'd be one thing. But this is really limiting your audience. I don't see the appeal, and I don't see the collector's market for it right now.
Yeah, I mean the book is really high quality. I'll say that because it is only $3.99,
which is a good price. I mean,
that's a really good deal.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I guess my main concern is because there are people that don't have these shops available. Like, I think we're pretty lucky here in DFW that we have so many shops around, like within a reasonable driving distance of everyone. We could probably maybe 45 minutes the longest, and you could still hit like, I don't know, 7 different shops. Kind of like when we went around for Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
Right?
What's outside like?
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go watch that video again so I can remember.
I'm curious though, when you guys go to your shop, how many people are digging through back issues?
It depends if WandaVision had an Easter egg from one of them.
See, it's. I don't think the collector's market is something you want to be targeting right now.
No.
Right, and in particular because there's the collector's market, and then there is the eBay abusing scarcity market.
Yes.
And that second market is way more powerful right now than the first one, right? This is such a weird idea to me because it's almost like the opposite of TKO, right? TKO is like we're gonna mix up the comic model by going the binge route, but also by having multiple formats. They made getting into things easy, right? You want one collected volume, we offer that. You want to get this interesting box set of floppy issues, we have that. You just want to buy a PDF, we have that, right?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, it starts and stops with the story. They had a complete story, and it's like, how do you want to buy it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they are about making it as easy as possible to get into these books so that they're reaching a broader market. And they've done pretty well for themselves, it seems like, right?
Yeah.
This, to me, just comes around to, do you remember how hard it was back in the good old days to find a copy of a comic? Welcome back to that, right? Like it just doesn't make any sense.
But we have that now with incentive purchases for titles with DC and Marvel. So if you go buy like 100 copies of some rando book, you'll get this exclusive cover that'll sit on the back of your wall forever until someone wants to drop $100 on a brand new book, and that's all it is.
Well, and like I mentioned on the last show, there was the person that bought 1,000 copies of Berserker just so they could get the Keanu Reeves sign. Yeah.
But okay. So are you saying that's where the collector's market is at now?
I think it's a specialty. What I'm afraid of is that there's not a collector's market. There's just a reseller's market.
Yeah.
And it's all these people that are trying I'm not gonna sell my book. I only wanted to get the one so I could read it because I like all these creators.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna put it on. I'm not gonna go put it on eBay. Like that's because I could have the day I went to pick it up, I could have brought my brother with me and asked him to buy an extra copy, right? But I didn't want to do that because that's not the point of this whole bad idea thing.
Yeah.
We'll get starting with March 21st. We'll get a monthly title. The different title is gonna rotate out. So if you're watching this, you can still go pre-order at your local. Check the Bad Idea website. If you're in Dallas, you can reach out to Jeremy at Titan Comics to see if they can still pre-order more. I do know that there's a second printing now of the first issue that's not reselling as high. So hopefully at least that can be your item because it's got black letter title now instead of the white original that we saw earlier. So I'm always fascinated by the collector's market and the speculation market. The day there was a big reveal in one division, I went to ask Jeremy, like, did a lot of people come asking you for West Coast Avengers issues? And he's like, yeah. And I told him I have what I have back there, and that's it. Like he even raised the price on that or anything. Like he's just selling the comic books like normal.
Yeah.
So
I guess my complaint is that this Bad Idea format isn't even about speculation. The point of speculation is you pick up the first appearance of Cable when it comes out because you're reading the book or you like it and you see this character, you're like, I think this character might become something, right? Maybe you buy a couple more. That's speculation. This is for scarcity, and it just it's such a weird idea. It's like putting so many roadblocks up for people to read these books.
Yeah. It seems like a waste of time. You're trying to control a market that really, I don't know, even know what the market is. Speculation is such a weird market to be in. I think there's a collector's market. The collector's market is so small. I think that where we are now as comic book collectors, the people who are actively buying old comics to fill in gaps is very small. The speculator market is probably a Venn diagram of some of that, but is much bigger on people making the quick buck. Yeah. How many people, like at your shop when you go in on Wednesday, have stacks of every first issue? Do you have guys who order every first issue in your shop?
Oh my God.
I'm sure I do.
There's one guy in our shop that I always see, and he has a stack, and he will get anything brand new comes out, he buys.
I don't order every first issue, but I do get a lot of issue number ones because I want to check out. Like this Carmen number 1 from this week, I wanted to read that story. I'm not betting on this to like eventually, quadruple its value or whatever. Like it's a number 1 that I'm interested in. But I do have a box of number 1s that I picked up because they were coming out and I wanted to check out.
I guess because I totally agree with you, Clay. Like to me, a comic collector is like my buddy from high school who only collects Doctor Strange. Right? That's not because he thinks they're going to go up in value, although they probably did when the Doctor Strange movie came out. It's because he likes them and he has a complete collection. Right? So that to me is a collector mentality. This bad idea format sounds to me like the comics version of the Reddit speculators doing GameStop.
Yes.
Right? It is about, we understand the kernel of how this works. We're going to structure everything around it.
Yep.
I don't know. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, I mean, they did say it's a bad idea, so we'll see.
They do. I mean, at least they're forthright with it in the name. So
okay. The next piece of news I wanted to touch on is in DC will be launching a tie. Well, they're coming up with a DC Pride anthology. It's going to be an 80-page anthology comic featuring LGBTQA created characters from across the DC universe, as well as a Crush and Lobo 8-issue miniseries written by Mariko Tamaki and illustrated by Amanke Nawalpan.
cool.
The Pride anthology will focus on characters like Batwoman, Poison Ivy and Harley, Midnighter, the Flash of Earth 11, who is a new character that came out for Future State. I believe they're non-binary. Green Lantern Alan Scott, who, as we talked about last week, came out to his kids in the Infinite Frontier issue. Aqualad, Dreamer, Renee Montoya, and Pied Piper, who I think a lot of those characters have been LGBTQ for a long time now. And let me share this. Let's see if I can do this right, because I want to share the screen.
Yeah.
And show you guys some covers. You might have seen some of these, but maybe some of these you haven't.
And these are all the DC Pride anthology covers?
Yes.
Like the variant covers, or is it more than one issue?
I think there'll be variants. So first, I want to thank the people at Budweiser. Though it's a really cool website. So this is where I got the information. But so we have the main cover, which looks like Jim Lee work. Yeah. But then we have some really cool variants.
Oh wow!
And this is not very good for our audio listeners, so I might cut this part out. But sorry about that. So we have.
I'll spend 10 minutes describing each cover. Go.
Thank you. So for Superman, they'll have DC Pride covers for throughout their different titles as well. Which I think like some of these are just really cool. Nightwing.
Oh, nice.
Ivy and Harley, and I believe I saw this. I forget whose cover this is, but I really enjoy it. I haven't read much of Crush, but I'm definitely gonna pick up this. Mariko Tamaki is writing this, so I'm gonna pick up this series. And Wonder Girl.
Nice.
So we have some pretty cool stuff coming. But I just wanted to.
Sorry.
I just wanted to share that this is coming out in June.
That's my question.
Okay. Yeah, a date of when. Yeah, a date. I'll put the link to the article below as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing like just more stories about all these characters that we really enjoy. And one of the things I like the most when reading comics, and we talked about it a little bit last week too when we were talking about that Booster Gold Blue Beetle thing. I want to see them on their downtime as well. Like with their partners or what they're doing on an everyday basis. As much as I love all the world-ending hijinks that could happen in a story, like just seeing them day to day, like that's also I find all that pretty interesting. Okay, and then the last bit of news, during an investor call for AT&T and HBO Max, they released an image of like
Are you
everything.
on all these investor calls?
Listen, when you have a diverse portfolio, you get the information. Yeah, no, this was not a public one, unfortunately. Let me see if I got the right. Here we go.
I just
the
want to
right
hear
screen.
Daniel on one of these calls asking for more variant covers.
Can we get more Batman movies, please? So
that is a lot of content.
Yeah, so these are all the things that are ongoing or they have been announced. But the new thing that was not announced before is this Zatanna movie or Zatanna project, whatever this is going to be. Because this includes all the TV shows, video games, all the stuff that kind of has already been announced.
Well, you're making the point about this Zatanna movie. I want to point out Bat Wheels. I don't know what that is.
It's a show about all the vehicles that Batman has, like they are kind of sentient. I believe. Wait.
It's
like Cars, but in Batman world.
Are you fucking with me right now?
No.
Is that really what? Oh my god!
This is a kids show that will feature. Okay. It's kind of like Cars, but like they all belong to Batman.
Is the
superpower
Nolan
is being rich?
Yeah, is the Nolan Bat Tank like the gruff one? And
I don't know, but I hope so.
I hope there's a gathering of the Bat vehicles because I want to see them all.
I just want the '89 movie voiced by Michael Keaton.
Some of these signs are just really lame and sad for their show. Like Superhero High is a white standard text on a green background. Like
I think some of these may be so far out of production that they don't have an actual logo yet.
But I mean, even the black and white one, the League of Super Pets, has the DC logo on it, and it looks like it was just kind of squeezed in at the end.
All right, I made up the last two. All right.
Well, or even Superman and Lois. It's already aired. That is the most boring image I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Listen, these investor calls are not all about the Flash.
But even the Flash didn't say the Flash. The Flash just had the logo. That was the funny part. Is like we're not even gonna put a name on this one.
I hate you guys. Well, so the only. I mean, I'm glad there's a Zatanna movie. I would hope that we would keep Matt Ryan as Constantine.
Oh,
if we keep
please. That would be the best move.
But if it's gonna be a movie, can we just get Ana de Armas to be Zatanna?
Yes, because we're not worthy of her.
She's from Knives Out or Blade Runner 2049.
She played
Joy.
Joy.
That would be so cool. Oh man,
that's the only reason I brought this up because I wanted to start campaigning for Ana de Armas.
That is
Zatanna.
Perfect casting. Yeah. Oh my god, I want to see that.
She's pretty great.
Yep.
Okay, well, that's all the news I have for today. Let's take a little break and we'll finish off with our question of the day and recommendations.